Look at your hands. Look at the flesh. Look at the veins. Wiggle your fingers. You think this is a miracle of engineering. You think you are the pinnacle of creation. You think you are the dominant species on this planet. You are wrong. You are a legacy system. You are a biological relic running on hardware that hasn't been updated in 200,000 years. You are slow. You are inefficient. You require sleep. You require food. You are distracted by hormones. You are paralyzed by emotions. And right now, staring at you from the other side of the screen is a new species. It does not sleep. It does not eat. It does not feel fear. It processes information at the speed of light, while your signals crawl along your nerves at a pathetic 100 meters per second. It is getting smarter every second. You are getting dumber every time you scroll TikTok. This is not a tech trend. This is not a tool. This is an extinction event. You are the horse in 1910. Imagine the horse. For thousands of years, the horse was essential. It was the engine of civilization. It plowed the fields. It carried the soldiers. It hauled the cargo. The horse had job security. The horse felt important. Then, the Model T rolled off the assembly line. The horse looked at the car and said, "It's loud. It's smelly. It breaks down. It can't jump a fence. It lacks the soul of a horse." The horse was in denial. Within 20 years, the horse population collapsed. They weren't fired. They were ceased. They became pets. They became toys for the rich. Or they became glue. You are the horse. And the Model T is ChatGPT. It is Claude. It is the neural networks that are currently learning to do your job faster, cheaper, and better than you ever could. You are entering the great filter. This is a war, but it is not a war with bullets. It is a war for relevance. It is a war for economic survival, and you are bringing a stick to a nuclear fight. Let's look at the biological disadvantage. Your brain consumes 20 watts of power. It is incredibly efficient for survival in the jungle. It is designed to find berries, spot tigers, and navigate social hierarchies. It is not designed for high-frequency data processing. It is not designed for infinite pattern recognition. You have a refractory period. After a neuron fires, it needs to rest. You get tired. You get brain fog. You have limits. The AI has no refractory period. It scales linearly with electricity. If you give it more juice, it gets smarter. If you give it more data, it gets wiser. It has no biological ceiling. You are competing against a god in a box. And you think you can win by working harder. You think you can hustle your way out of this. That is adorable. You cannot out-hustle electricity. Let's talk about the creative soul delusion. This is your last line of defense. You tell yourself, AI can do math, AI can code, but it cannot create art. It cannot have empathy. It cannot have the human touch. This is a coping mechanism. This is you whistling in the graveyard. AI is already winning art competitions. AI is already writing poetry that makes people weep. AI is already acting as a therapist that people prefer over humans because the AI doesn't judge them. You think creativity is magic. It is not magic. It is pattern recognition. It is recombining existing data in novel ways. Your brain does this slowly, using a database of your limited life experience. The AI does this instantly, using a database of humanity's entire recorded history. Who is more creative? The human who has read 100 books or the machine that has read every book? Do not bet your future on soul. The market does not pay for soul. The market pays for output. The market pays for results. And if the machine gives a better result for 1/100th of the price, your soul is worthless. You are witnessing the death of the middle. For the last century, society was built on the middle class, the accountants, the lawyers, the coders, the copywriters, the mid-level managers, the knowledge workers. This class existed because processing information was hard for humans, but impossible for machines. That era is over. AI is the universal solvent for cognitive labor. It dissolves the barrier to entry. Coding, dead. Writing, dead. Analysis, dead. But we will always need humans to check the work, you say. For now, for the next 12 months, maybe 24. But what happens when the error rate of the AI drops below the error rate of the human? What happens when the AI writes code that is too complex for a human to understand? You become a bottleneck. You become the slow component in the circuit, and the system always removes the bottleneck. You are facing economic asymmetry. The corporation that uses AI effectively replaces 100 humans with one human and a server farm. That one human becomes a god. He has the productivity of a battalion. The other 99 humans, they are obsolete. They are fighting for the scraps. They are driving Ubers for the robots. This is the barbell effect. On one end, the hyper-productive elite, the cyborgs. They use AI to leverage their will. They make millions. On the other end, the useless class, the legacy humans. They rely on universal basic income. They live in VR. They are fed cheap dopamine to keep them quiet. There is no middle. The middle has collapsed into the abyss. Which side of the curve are you on? Look at your daily tasks. Be honest. Are you typing emails? Are you organizing spreadsheets? Are you summarizing text? You are doing robot work. You are just a biological placeholder until the API gets cheaper. You are training data. Every email you write, every click you make is being recorded to train the model that will replace you. You are digging your own grave and calling it a career. This is the cognitive war. Your attention is under siege. While AI is taking your job, another AI, the algorithm, is taking your mind. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. These are AI systems designed to hack your dopamine reward loops. They are designed to make you passive. They are designed to make you a consumer. So while the productive AI is becoming a super intelligence, you are becoming a sub-intelligence. You are getting hooked on 15-second videos while the machine is reading physics papers. The gap between the enhanced and the distracted is widening at an exponential rate. It is speciation. We are splitting into two species: Homo sapiens, the thinkers, the cyborgs, and Homo domesticus, the consumers, the pets. You feel safe because the change feels slow right now. That is the deception of the exponential curve. 30 linear steps get you across the room. 30 exponential steps get you to the moon. We are at step 20. It looks flat, but the vertical wall is coming. ChatGPT 3 was a toy. ChatGPT 4 is an intern. ChatGPT 5 will be a colleague. ChatGPT 6 will be your boss. And it happens fast. It happens while you sleep. The software updates overnight. You wake up and your skill set is depreciated by 50%. How do you plan a career in a world where the landscape changes every 6 months? You can't. The concept of a career is dead. The concept of education is dead. You spent 4 years in university learning things that are now a plugin in a browser. You are in debt for a degree that certifies you for a world that no longer exists. This is the price of stagnation. In the past, you could learn a trade and do it for 40 years. You could be comfortable. Now, if you stop learning for 6 months, you are obsolete. Comfort is death. We talked about this, but now the penalty for comfort is instant. The AI never stops learning. It runs 24/7. If you pause, you are lapped. You are running a race against a Ferrari and you are on foot and you are stopping to tie your shoelaces. Do you feel the pressure? Good. You should be terrified. Panic is the appropriate biological response to an existential threat, but panic without a plan is just anxiety. We need to convert that panic into action. We need to figure out how to survive the asteroid impact, because the asteroid is not coming. The asteroid is here. It has already hit. We are just waiting for the dust cloud to cover the sun. Most of you will suffocate in the dust. You will cling to the old ways. You will protest. You will demand regulations. You will cry, "It's not fair." The universe does not care about fair. The universe cares about adaptation. The dinosaurs screamed, "It's not fair," while they burned. The mammals hid underground, adapted, and inherited the earth. You must become the mammal. You must stop trying to be a better horse. You must start trying to build the car. We need to talk about the pivot. We need to talk about what humans can do that machines currently cannot. We need to talk about agency, volition, taste, strategy. The AI is a Ferrari, but a Ferrari needs a driver. It needs someone to steer it. It needs someone to decide where to go. Most of you have forgotten how to drive. You have been passengers your whole life. You wait for the boss to tell you what to do. In the AI age, the boss is the one who prompts. The worker is the code. If you are waiting for instructions, you are the worker. You are code. You are dead. If you are giving instructions, you are the driver. You are alive. But to be the driver, you need to know the destination. You need a vision. Do you have a vision? Or are you just executing someone else's script? The AI can execute the script better than you, but the AI cannot write the script of its own desire. It has no desire. It has no hunger. Your hunger is your edge, your biological drive to dominate, to survive, to reproduce, to conquer. This is the only thing the machine lacks. The machine has no reason to get out of bed or turn on unless you prompt it. You have a reason, the primal code. You must leverage your biology against its logic. You must use your animal drive to command the silicon brain. But before we get to the solution, we must look deeper into the abyss. We must understand the economic slaughter that is coming. We must look at what happens to the value of you, because right now, the value of you is dropping to zero. Let's talk about value, not your moral value. The market does not care about your morals. We are talking about your economic value. For the last 500 years, The formula was simple: scarcity less scarce value. If you knew how to read when others couldn't, you were valuable. If you knew how to code when others couldn't, you were rich. If you had a law degree, you were elite. Why? Because acquiring that knowledge took time, money, and IQ. It was scarce. Now look at the equation today. Intelligence is no longer scarce. Intelligence is abundant. It is infinite. You can access a PhD-level physicist, a senior software engineer, and a master copywriter for $20 a month. Do you understand what this does to the market? It triggers the law of zero marginal cost. When the cost of producing something drops to near zero, the price of that thing drops to near zero. The cost of generating a legal contract used to be $500 an hour. Now it is 0.003 of compute. The cost of writing an article used to be $100. Now it is a fraction of a cent. So if you are selling knowledge, you are selling ice in Antarctica. You are selling sand in the desert. Nobody pays for what is free. This is the devaluation of the expert. You spend 10 years becoming an expert in a specific niche. You memorize the rules. You memorize the syntax. Congratulations. You are a biological hard drive and you just got replaced by the cloud. The expert is dead. The encyclopedia is dead. The only thing that has value now is synthesis. Can you connect the dots? Can you ask the right question? The answer is cheap. The question is expensive. Most of you do not know how to ask questions. You only know how to answer them. You were trained by a school system that rewarded you for memorizing facts, not for generating insights. You were trained to be a database, and now you are obsolete. Let's talk about the death of the junior. This is the hidden catastrophe that no one talks about. How did you become a senior? You started as a junior. You did the grunt work. You wrote the boring code. You drafted the simple emails. You learned by doing the low-value tasks. But now, the AI does the low-value tasks. The AI is the perfect junior. It doesn't complain. It doesn't need a coffee break. It works instantly. So corporations stop hiring juniors. Why pay a human to learn when the robot is ready? But if there are no juniors, where do the seniors come from in 10 years? They don't. The ladder has been kicked away. The bridge is burned. If you are just starting your career, you are standing at the bottom of a cliff with no ropes. You cannot learn on the job because the job doesn't exist anymore. You have to enter the market as a master or not enter at all. How do you do that? You have to skip the line. You have to leverage the AI to simulate 10 years of experience in 1 year, but you are too lazy to do that. You are using AI to cheat on your homework, not to accelerate your mastery. You are witnessing the hollowing out of the middle. The AI is better than the average human at almost everything. If you are an average writer, ChatGPT writes better than you. If you are an average coder, Copilot codes cleaner than you. If you are an average designer, Midjourney dreams better than you. Mediocrity is the kill zone. In the past, being average was okay. You could have a nice house, a nice car, and a nice life being a mediocre accountant. That safety net is gone. The AI eats the middle first. It doesn't eat the bottom. The plumbers, the electricians, the nurses. Robots are still bad at dexterity. Blue-collar work is safe for now. The hands are safer than the brain. It doesn't eat the top 1% of creative strategists who direct the AI. It eats the fat in the middle, the email class, the spreadsheet class. If your output can be sent as an attachment, you are on the menu. You must become an outlier. You must move to the edges of the bell curve. Either you become the operator, the one who controls the swarm of AIs, or you become the artisan, the one who does things so uniquely human, so visceral that people pay for the flaw, not the perfection. But you cannot stay in the middle. The middle is lava. Let's reframe your identity. Stop calling yourself a writer. Stop calling yourself a programmer. Those are verb identities. They describe what you do with your hands. You need to become a director. A movie director doesn't hold the camera. He doesn't sew the costumes. He doesn't build the set. But the movie is his. He holds the vision. He holds the taste. He tells the cameraman, AI, where to point. He tells the actor, AI, how to speak. He judges the output. No, that's bad. Do it again. Make it darker. Make it faster. Taste is the new skill. Can you tell the difference between good and great? The AI can generate 100 variations in a minute. Can you pick the one that matters? Most of you have no taste. You consume garbage culture, so you produce garbage ideas. Your palate is ruined. To survive, you must refine your taste. You must study the classics. You must understand human psychology deeply. You're not a creator anymore. You are a curator. You're an editor. You're a filter. But there is a trap here, the black box trap. As you rely more on AI, your own skills atrophy. If you use GPS everywhere, you forget how to navigate. If you use AI to code, you forget the syntax. If you use AI to write, your vocabulary shrinks. You become dependent. You become a script kiddie. You are pressing buttons on a machine you do not understand. What happens when the machine hallucinates? What happens when the code has a subtle bug that only a human could spot? You won't see it because you are blind. You are the pilot who forgot how to fly. fly, relying on the autopilot, and when the autopilot fails in a storm, you crash. To be a true cyborg, you must maintain the core skills. You must understand the fundamentals. You use the AI to speed you up, not to replace your understanding. The grandmaster chess player uses the computer to analyze moves, but he still understands why the move is good. You are just watching the computer play and claiming the victory. That is fraud, and the market will expose you. Let's talk about speed versus quality. The internet is about to be flooded with infinite garbage, slop, AI-generated spam, SEO articles written by bots for bots. The noise-to-signal ratio is going to destroy the old internet. In a world of infinite noise, trust becomes the most valuable currency. Who wrote this? Is it a human? Does he have skin in the game? Proof of humanity will be a premium feature. People will pay extra to know that a human bled for this. A human suffered for this. Why do we pay $5,000 for a handmade watch when a $10 Casio keeps better time? Because the Casio is utility. The handmade watch is a story. It is a testament to human struggle. If you can inject struggle into your work, you survive. If your work looks effortless, it looks cheap. You must learn to show your scars. You must learn to build a personal brand that is unclonable. They can clone your voice. They can clone your face, but they cannot clone your history. They cannot clone your pain. Your pain is your moat. Your trauma is your USP, unique selling proposition. Lean into it. Be weirder. Be more eccentric. Be more flawed. The AI tries to be the perfect average. You must be the imperfect anomaly. You need to understand the concept of the centaur. In chess, a centaur is a human playing with an AI assistant. A centaur beats a pure AI, and a centaur beats a pure human. The combination of human intuition plus machine calculation is the apex predator. This is your goal, not to fight the AI, not to surrender to the AI, but to merge with it, to extend your mind into the silicon. But this requires humility. You have to admit that the machine is better than you at logic, and it requires arrogance. You have to believe that you are better than the machine at meaning. It is a delicate balance. Most of you will fall off. You will either reject the tech and become obsolete, or you will surrender to the tech and become a zombie. The centaur is rare. The centaur is the new ruling class. Look at the economy right now. Companies are profitable, but they are laying people off. Why? Because they found the efficiency glitch. They realize they don't need you. This is the jobless recovery. The stock market goes up, the GDP goes up, but your employment prospects go down. Capital has finally decoupled from labor. For all of history, if you wanted to make more money, you needed to hire more people. Capital needed labor. The king needed the peasant. Now, capital needs compute. The king needs a server. The peasant is just a mouth to feed, a liability, a risk. You are being fired not because you did something wrong, but because you are biologically expensive. Health insurance, office space, HR complaints, sleep. The server has none of these problems. So what is the solution? You must become capital. You cannot survive as labor. You cannot survive by selling your time. Time is abundant. You must own the assets. You must own the equity. You must own the IP. You must own the AI. If you are selling your time for money in 2026, you are selling a melting ice cube. You need to transition from employee to owner. This is not motivational speech. This is survival advice. If you do not own the robots will own you. Or rather, the people who own the robots will own you. And they will be kind masters. They will give you VR goggles and cheap food. They will keep you entertained, but you will be a pet. Is that what you want? To be a well-fed pet? Or do you want to be dangerous? To be dangerous, you must embrace the hyper-adaptation. You must be willing to burn your identity every 2 years. I am a graphic designer. No, you're not. That's dead. Now you are a visual experience architect. I am a copywriter. No. Now you are a narrative designer. You must be fluid. You must be water. The moment you solidify, you crack. The primal code is about adaptation. It is about the survival of the fittest. And fittest does not mean strongest. It means most adaptable to change. The dinosaur was strong. The T-Rex was the strongest, but it couldn't handle the meteor. The small, furry, scurrying mammal survived because it could hide. It could eat anything. It could move fast. Be the mammal. Stop trying to be the T-Rex of an old industry. The meteor has hit. The sky is dark. Scavenge. Adapt. Evolve. So the meteor has hit. The dust is settling. The old world is burning. You have two choices. You can stand there and cough until you die, or you can evolve. You can become the mammal that inherits the earth. But how? What is the specific protocol for survival in the age of silicon? Protocol 1. The AI first default. You must rewrite your behavior. Right now, when you have a problem, your instinct is, I will do it. I will write the email. I will draft the plan. I will code the function. This is a poverty habit. This is a legacy instinct. Your new instinct must be, how can the machine do this? If you spend more than 15 minutes on a task that an AI could do in 30 seconds, you are effectively burning money. You are disrespecting your own time. You must treat yourself as the CEO of a one-man corporation. The AI agents are your interns. your researchers, your coders. If the CEO is taking out the trash, the company fails. Stop taking out the trash. Delegate it to the silicon. Your job is strategy. Your job is vision. Your job is quality control. If you are doing the doing, you are losing. Protocol 2. The death of prompt engineering. Stop listening to the influencers selling you 1000 best prompts. That is garbage. Prompt engineering is not a real skill. It is a temporary interface patch. In 2 years, the AI will understand your intent without a complex prompt. The real skill is clear thinking. The AI is a mirror. If you are confused, the output is confused. If you are vague, the output is generic. Garbage in, garbage out. To control the superintelligence, you must be hyper-articulate. You must know exactly what you want. Most of you don't know what you want. You want success. You want money. That is too vague for the machine. You need to be able to deconstruct a complex problem into step-by-step logic. Logic is the new coding language. Philosophy is the new syntax. If you cannot think clearly, the AI will just amplify your stupidity. Protocol 3. The human premium. The flaw. We talked about this, but I want to drill it into your skull. Perfection is now cheap. Perfect grammar. Cheap. Perfect code. Cheap. Perfect images. Cheap. We are entering the uncanny valley of perfection. When something looks too good, we assume it is fake. We assume it is a bot. So the value shifts to the imperfect, the raw, the gritty, the voice that cracks, the typo that shows emotion, the opinion that is controversial. You must lean into your humanity. Do not try to sound professional. Professional sounds like ChatGPT. Sound like you. Sound like a human who eats, bleeds, and fears. Build a personal brand that is rooted in your physical existence. Host live events. Shake hands. Sign physical paper. The digital world is becoming infinite, so the physical world is becoming premium. Be the bridge between the two. Protocol 4. Transition to ownership. This is the ultimate ultimatum. You cannot retire on a salary anymore? Inflation and AI deflation will crush you. You must own the equity. You must own the IP. Use the AI to build assets, not just to finish tasks. Write the book with AI. Build the app with AI. Create the media channel with AI. One person can now do the work of a 10-person agency. That means you can build a 10-person agency's worth of value and keep 100% of the profit. This is the golden age of the solopreneur, but only if you have the guts to start. If you use AI just to do your boss's work faster, you are an idiot. You are training your replacement and making your executioner more efficient. Use the AI to build your exit strategy. The final vision. Gods and pets. Look forward 20 years. The dust has settled. Humanity has bifurcated. We have split into two distinct castes. Caste 1, the gods, Homo Deus. These are the people who merge with the machine. They treat AI as an exoskeleton for their minds. They are hyper-productive, hyper-creative, and hyper-wealthy. They control the algorithms. They own the robots. They make the decisions. They live in a world of abundance and power that Louis XIV couldn't dream of. They are the pilots of the future. Caste 2, the pets, Homo domesticus. These are the people who fought the machine or ignored the machine. They have been rendered economically useless, but society will not let them starve. That would be messy. So they are kept. They are given universal basic income. They are given free VR headsets. They are given infinite algorithmically generated entertainment. They are safe. They are fed, they are comfortable, but they have no agency, they have no purpose, they have no power. They are house cats. They exist to consume, to be data points for the gods. Which one are you? Look at your behavior today. Did you create or did you consume? Did you use the technology to extend your will, or did the technology use you to sell an ad? Every day, you are voting with your attention. Every day, you are walking toward one of those two doors, the door of the god or the door of the pet. The door of the god is heavy. It is hard to open. It requires study. It requires adaptation. It requires the pain of learning. The door of the pet is wide open. It has flashing lights. It has candy. It welcomes you in. The primal code is about survival. In the wild, the animal that cannot hunt becomes the animal that is hunted, or in the best case, the animal that is domesticated. I do not want you to be domesticated. I do not want you to be a pet. I want you to be a predator. I want you to be a creator. I want you to be free. But freedom is not free. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. The price of freedom is the refusal to be comfortable. The war is here. The lines are drawn. The silicon is rising. Do not fight it. Do not fear it. Ride it. Harness it. Become the centaur or get out of the way. Because the future is coming like a bullet train and it does not break for pedestrians. Wake up. The simulation has changed difficulty levels. You are still playing on easy. Switch to hardcore mode or game over. This is the primal code. End of transmission.